there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another Redmond Roundup where we talk about Liverpool stuff, you know what I'm saying? Well, we're talking about Mbappe in this episode, so I'm just a big liar. We don't talk about just Liverpool stuff because he's not coming to Liverpool. But in conclusion, we're going to be talking about Mbappe and where he goes next because he's just chatting SHIT. Then we've also got on the agenda Thuram and why he isn't joining Liverpool, and slap on the wrist from me because I actually said that this was one that I thought was a possibility. But again, I'm not a journalist, alright, and we was in talks, the same way we are in talks with Lavia right now. I do this, but we actually have met up with Lavia, so that's fair. But when you're in talks with a player, it doesn't mean anything, you know what I mean? Like, if I saw, 4 years ago, I saw Bobby Firmino at a restaurant when I was there with my mum. Does that mean I was in talks with Bobby Firmino to make him my new dad? No, and I've been boss. It's been weird, but boss, weirdly enough. Now I've been Saudi, living it up, you know what I mean? With Papa Firms, but it's one of those things where I think in this scenario, it just so happens that Mbappe is just one of those players, and you know, there's some things that just remain true, some players don't. You get in talks with Mbappe, oh, it's in talks, it's weird. But anyway, we can delve into the Thuram one first, because when we were linked with Lavia, I noticed that a lot of people was not up for this Lavia over Thuram, because Thuram's slightly more established and he's played in France and all these things, right? But I see Thuram as someone who I weren't the biggest fan. I didn't think he was the most technically supreme. I didn't think he was exactly what we needed. I also think people were putting too much emphasis in the fact that he's a big guy, he's a physical guy, and you know, I don't think it's too hard to find those. I'd rather find someone who's physical with a bit of technical ability, and I feel like Lavia suited that mold a little bit more. But anyway, on Thuram, Fabrizio Romano came out and said the reason why we opted out of Thuram was because we didn't have the funds. Plain and simple, people. I'm not here to moan about it no more. I understand what we are. We're a top 4 competing team, which is fine. I just wish we were all honest about that sooner. I do. If you say we're going to go and win the league, you're going off of you know, in Jurgen Klopp's time here, this will be his 7th full season, but his 8th season in total. 1 Premier League in 8 years for, you know, a club like Liverpool where we've had Bill Shankly, Bob Paisley. That's my comparison. I want to set it to that bar. It's not like I'm supporting Portsmouth, and it's completely unrealistic for me to want this team of this size to win leagues more often than one every 8 years. And for it to be our golden era, and for Chelsea to have more trophies than us, and for us to have only won 1 Premier League and Champions League, it's still fantastic, and I'll still always cherish these memories in my heart. But now I know where we are, and it's a top 4 competing team, and everyone's fine with that because we've got a new stadium, and the owners are they're making us self-sufficient, and maybe I'm just being impatient. So fine, we're a top 4 team, and Thuram isn't going to be our player. That also means we're probably not going to get another midfielder full stop, because Thuram, as far as I was aware, would have actually been available for a cheaper price than what Lavia would have been available for. And I don't think we're going to get Lavia because, again, we know the catch, according to journalists, is that unless we sell, so even though there is definitive interest in Lavia, we need to sell to get him into the football team, and then that's what's going to make the almighty difference about whether or not he will become a Liverpool player. I don't see that happening because we're not going to be able to sell anyone, therefore we're not going to be able to coop in 50 million, and I just think that means he stays at Southampton or he goes to another club which is linked with him. And I do think there was a bit of a free gate there for Lavia. But I think, as always, we can tend to be last minute. That's why we've saw a lot of players go for free. That's why we're seeing a lot of players right now, which we're linked with, but we're not really going to take any further because the financial situation has been neglected, essentially. And if we have neglected the homegrown situation, the financial situation, then we're neglecting 2 huge parts of the football club going forward. So when people say, oh, you're wrong for this, I always welcome you to come on the show and whatnot, but you cannot say to me in one sentence, you know, I'm FSG in, and I think we're going to win league titles with FSG, at least in the short term. They're just owners that are made to try and get you top 4. And do you know what? They've done brilliant. Do you know what I saw a tweet of earlier? It did make me upset, but now I'm just coming to terms with it. And I did get, I hated this because it got loads of likes. So it was just, I know that other people think this as well. It was something along the lines of Liverpool. Us as Liverpool fans are so lucky. We didn't know how lucky we had it when we got Champions League 7 years in a row. Do you understand what FSG's done? Before FSG joined, we were a constant Champions League team with Rafa Benitez and that. I understand we had a dip because of the previous ownership. But then when FSG came in, I think we got 1 Champions League season in 13-14. And then since Klopp came in, that's when we got Champions League. So is it FSG or Klopp is the question I always like to raise. But then, you know, you've got to be fair and say FSG appointed Klopp. So it's just upsetting the way that that's the standard, you know what I mean? I'd love to hear an interview of Bob Paisley or Bill Shankly right now talking to these fans, like these modern day fans. And apparently, you know, I get messages from gentlemen, about 40, 50-year-old men who, you know, having a beer, like a Desby on the story or a Corona, and they'll message me and they'll say, oh, you don't know shit because you're young and you're there, and that's fine. But I just think it's funny the way you're older, you're closer to the time of Paisley and Shankly, and I have higher standards than you, and they'd have absolutely laughed at you. And right now, I think they'd be turning in their grave seeing the standards of this football club. But, you know, I just get called negative, and apparently I do it for views. So it's one of those things. But yeah, anyway, Kylian Mbappe, what the fuck's going on there? Do you know what I mean? I just don't get the Kylian Mbappe stuff no more. I also really don't get why we're being linked with him. And then I don't understand why I see, even though it's only Son, I don't understand why I see some Liverpool fans entertaining this. And it makes me learn not to take other people's opinions with too much value. Nor my own. It's football. It shouldn't be that serious. But I think we can all factually say, if we analyse this from an overall basis, we're not going to... Like, you're onto the way that Sky has odds for, oh, this player's going to join this club, or this manager's going to join this club. It should just be 0%, and Liverpool shouldn't be on the list. It's not, 1 in a million, 1 in 2 million. No. Let's just swerve this BS, and let's just actually pull ourselves out the race before we humiliate ourselves. And I'm not saying we never showed interest in Mbappe, but I can show interest in a Lamborghini. It doesn't mean I can afford a Lamborghini, but I can go window shopping for a Lamborghini. I'm more than entitled to do window shopping for a Lamborghini. I'm not allowed to buy it because I haven't got the funds nor the resources to get it. So that's a 0% chance of happening. Now, I think an interesting conversation, and one that I'm willing to engage in, is where does he go? And I think the two answers that come to mind is, unless he sorts out something with PSG, then that means he can stay at PSG. Or if he sorts out something with Real Madrid, he goes to Real Madrid. I don't see him going to United, but again, that depends on the ownership situation. And I also don't know what their financial situation would be like when the new owners come in. Like, I don't know if they could get Mbappe so soon. Like, would they need to wait a little bit and like let go of some of the funds? I don't know how it would work, but you know, just with FFP and stuff like that, would they just be able to get it over the line of a transfer that it costs 300 million? Plus, that's not going to get done this summer, and if it does, it gets done next year. So I'm interested to see, like, who's going to... Because this PSG owner's on crack, by the way, chat. He keeps coming out saying, we're not going to let Mbappe go for free. Mbappe is on a free next year. Wait, no, that's not right. It's 2024 next year. Did he stay till 2025? Now I'm confused. But I believe his contract's out next year, and no one's going to buy him this summer. So something's got to give. One of them's lying, you know what I mean? And but if it is in 2 years' time, then maybe that's what it is. But I also believe that the owner said Mbappe's not going to play until he signs a new contract, and we don't want him going for free, and I'm sure he understands that type idea. So, yeah, I think it's just one big ploy to keep Mbappe. I think it's a tactic from the owners because, let's be honest, they don't need money. Yes, it's a shame if you lose Mbappe for free, of course, but I'm just saying that even though you lose Mbappe for free, and that's a shame, you've got money, so you don't need to worry about getting the maximum funds. Maybe you're just worried about FFP, if that exists, for PSG, let's be honest. But, yeah, thought I'd refute that news because this slander on Liverpool being linked with Mbappe is quite embarrassing. I can't wait till the season starts and I can just start celebrating some goals because the transfer window does annoy me. It's one of those things. But guys, thank you for watching. Please do smash a like if you enjoyed. If you didn't, don't have to smash a like. You can leave a dislike if you want. And yeah, I'll see you all in a bit, guys.